we're going to be talking about why basic income is important to social workers. Well, to start, understanding basic income allows social workers to gain a better understanding on clients with income instability. It also gives them the knowledge to advocate for financial security. Once you understand the importance of basic income and why it is a necessity for communities, you're also then able to fight for the right for financial security for the people who are experiencing income instability, which is really important as social workers because one of our roles is to advocate for other people, especially when we have the knowledge that other people might not have. So we are put in that position where we're able to fight for the needs of others. Basic income implementations in social work practice will improve the mental health status in individuals. When people are struggling with money issues or stressed about financials, about when they can pay rent or if they have money to even meet the necessities needed in life, it can decrease someone's mental health because that's added stressors onto their life that they shouldn't have to worry about. Which brings me on to my next point, that basic income promotes economy stability, which plays a role in social workers considering the well-being of people. Basic income is needed sometimes to meet basic necessities in people's lives, which is important for social workers to understand so we could see that the needs of people, if someone is struggling to even meet their basic needs in life, that is not them in their best space. They're lacking needs. And us as social workers, it's important that we find the correct programs and understand what our clients' needs are so that we are able to address them and help them in the way that they need to be helped. Social workers, specifically in different countries, participating in addressing this topic. First, I do want to note that basic income has not been a nationwide policy, meaning that not all countries have accepted basic income as an official policy. Not every country offers basic income. This is important to note when it comes to social workers, specifically in these countries that do not offer basic income as a policy, because in this case, there's a huge role that plays in advocacy, advocating for basic income and why it's a necessity for other countries and why it's needed to meet the necessity of people. To get into specific countries, in Kenya, they play more of a geriatric social worker role when it comes to basic income. But this is because in Kenya, only elderly people participate in basic income. It's elderly people who can't work, so they have this basic income that allows them to still meet necessities of life without having to worry about having to work, especially if they're not able to. Another country-specific social work role would be in Finland. In Finland, they did a preliminary study to determine basic needs in communities. This can be seen as a field assessment that they're doing, which does play a role in social work. You know, in field assessments, you go look at a community and look at their strengths and look at their needs and look at holes that we need to fill or needs that need to be met in the community. And that is the way social workers play that role in that country, which Finland has done a great job at addressing basic income, as well as inspiring others to address basic income as well. Can social workers contribute in the future? One way is integrating social justice and human rights and the role that it plays into basic income. There is a connection between basic income and social justice and human rights. Basic income is a necessity. Not everybody can make that connection directly. As social workers, when we play such a role with social justice and human rights, and we have an understanding of what social justice and human rights is, it is our job to connect the two for other people to understand. Basic income allows people to meet this necessity of that people might be struggling with, of meeting rent, which is housing, being able to obtain food, which is what is needed to survive. Another way is continuing to work with the communities and clients to further empower them. It's really hard to struggle financially and really see a positive in life. That's where social workers' roles come in, and we continue to uplift clients by strength perspective, allowing them to see the strengths that they do have versus what they don't have. Third would be reassuring clients that there is a source of income security in case something were to go wrong. Sometimes it's hard for clients to see the light under the light at the end of the tunnel. And that's kind of where we come in to let them know that with basic income, we do have that financial security, that even if something goes wrong, we have this policy in place that will still allow them to, at minimum have basic necessities in life, which again is important because that is a right that, humans need to have. Housing, food, that is basic human rights. Lastly, using self-determination on clients can create higher labor participation, mental well-being, values, and work environments. By giving a client self-determination, you are giving them the strength to kind of go out into the world and, be independent, building a little bit of independence. People want to be uplifted, and as social workers, that's what we should do to clients, is uplift clients to let them understand, like, you might be in this position right now, but this is not your end. You have a further calling. That is important to do as social workers, is uplift our clients, because if we're not uplifting them, they are not going to build that independence that they need to go out and, secure a job, go out and do the things they need to. As well as, once you build self-determination in a client, they feel like they can do stuff on their own, building like their positivity, and allowing them to kind of see their potential and what they can do and what they can accomplish.